even though I think the Commission spokesperson, Mr. Michaels, made an announcement, let me still apologize to those present here and those viewing remotely. We were told that there was a technical problem. Apologies.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Sergeant. I was asking you before we went to go to page 532 in file 232 in file 2. You have it?
That's correct, I have it.
And there you'll see that on the 6th of May 2025, you sent a series of documents to the General, and you'll see what those documents are if you go to file 3. Sorry. It's still file 2, page 621, from 621 onwards. They are documents relating to applications for employment at the City of Tshwane. You have them?
Yes, I have them.
And so you'll see at 621, there is a receipt for someone's employment application. Then there's an ID that went with that receipt. At 623, another receipt, and on they go. There are various receipts for applications for employment at the city. Then I'm going to take you through all of these, and then I'd like you to address them. You'll see that on page 1159, that's file 3, you'll see that on the 26th of August, MMC Morodi sent you a similar document. You'll find the document at 1171. It too, at 1171, is a confirmation of receipt of an application for a position with the Metro Police. And at 1165, you'll see that on the 25th of September 2025, MMC Morodi sent you a similar document, another receipt of an application for appointment at the Metro Police. That document is at 1172. Then if you go back to page 560, you'll see that on...
Please wait for him to get there, Mr. Chancellor.
560, right?
560. You have 560?
I have it.
14 September of 2025, you'll see another series of these documents are sent from you to General Dlamini. And the documents themselves run from page 652 all the way through to 670. And you'll see that they're all applications, job applications at the Metro Police.
Mr. Chairperson, the documents to the general, are they the same as from MMC Morodi that you've referred to, or this is additional?
I haven't done that recon. They're certainly not the same. They are more, at the very least, they're more. Whether they overlap, I can come back to the Commission at a later stage.
All right, thank you.
Or maybe, Sergeant Nkosi, can you tell us, are the documents that you sent to the General, do they include the documents that were sent by MMC Morodi to you?
No.
They don't.
Mr. Chairperson, I wanted to make the point that the previous ones were accompanied by IDs. These ones are not accompanied by IDs.
Yes, some of the previous ones had IDs. Certainly the list of the 14th of September doesn't have IDs. There was, I think, only one ID on the 6th of May. For the rest, it was just receipts without other than there were some IDs, but not all of them had IDs. Now, the first question is, why were you sending these job application receipt forms to General Dlamini?
Thank you, Commissioners. The reason that I was sending this to General Dlamini, these documents are the application for the vacancy or that was advertised in or at Tshwane. As a person who's directly involved in the community activities, I'm encouraging you to apply for employment. I then make a follow-up to that effect. So those that have sent the website that there were vacancies, some I send them in the communities. I then make follow-up. Did you apply? Show me the proof that you applied.
So you are encouraging youth to apply at the City of Tshwane and in the Metro Police Department?
Not specifically at Tshwane or Metro Police specifically. I just wanted to be vague. I'm encouraging youth to work.
Sure. And when people make applications, you help them to follow up on their applications.
That's correct.
And so in this case, you were following up on applications that members of the community had made, and they wanted feedback. Is that what was taking place?
In addition to what you just said, they want the feedback. Sometimes their frustration would be they have applied and there would not be respond from whoever that they have applied from.
So if I take you to, say, page 532, well, let's start at 621, because that's where the receipt is. That receipt is dated 11 April, and you send it to General Dlamini on 6 May. Why would you send it to General Dlamini on 6 May if it's less than a month after the application was acknowledged by the city?
I don't know if I understand you. Can you maybe repeat that?
If this is an issue of following up, and following up in cases where there has been no response from the city, if one goes to 621, one sees that the city acknowledged receipt of the application on the 11th of April, but you are sending the acknowledgement of receipt to the general on the 6th of May. So that's about 3 weeks later. Why would you be sending it to the general after only 3 weeks if you were following up?
Okay. If I understand you correct, I'm subjected to be corrected. You are saying, why did I send this confirmation to the general after it was closed or before it was closed?
No, let me maybe be more explicit. Let's go back to 621.
Yes, you are at 621.
Second paragraph. You are hereby informed that correspondence will be limited to shortlisted candidates only. If you do not receive a reply within 12 weeks of the closing date, please consider your application unsuccessful. So they're saying there's a 12-week processing time here.
Yes.
Now the application, the receipt is dated 11 April. You see?
Yes.
So they are sending this letter to the applicant on the 11th of April and saying it's going to take 12 weeks to process these applications. On the 6th of May, which is roughly 3 weeks after that receipt letter is sent, you send the receipt letter to the general. Why did you send it after 3 weeks?
I still stand by my statement that it was to make a follow-up with results to this application.
But the receipt itself indicates that it's going to take 12 weeks to process the application, or will take up to 12 weeks to process the application. Why would you expect the general to know the outcome of the application 3 weeks after that receipt letter?
I just send it like I'm explaining to you now.
Okay. Let me then ask, why would MMC Morodi send you a receipt of application on the 26th of August? What did she want you to do with the employment application receipt?
It was to make a follow-up on whether the application had been received or not.
Well, she knew that the application had been received because the document at 1171 is a letter from the city saying it has been received. It's the same standard form letter from the city that says, we've received your application. If you don't receive a reply within 12 weeks of the closing date, please consider your application unsuccessful. So she knew it had been received. And it had been received, the receipt had been acknowledged on the 3rd of August. About 3 weeks after the 3rd of August, she sends it to you. Why did she send it to you? She knew it had been received, so it couldn't be for you to check that it had been received. What was she wanting you to do?
She wanted me to check if indeed it was received, and maybe if I could do something in terms of checking or what could be the problem that maybe some of people who applied to those vacancies were not being called.
And did you make any inquiries on her behalf?
Yes?
With whom did you inquire?
With General Dlamini.
What did you ask him in relation to this application?
I asked him to check in what is happening about such application.
And what did he report?
He said he will check.
And did you follow up again to find out what happened to this application?
I can't quite remember.
Now, MMC Morodi is an MMC of Tshwane. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
You have no formal relationship with Tshwane. Is that correct?
Can you repeat that?
You have no formal relationship with Tshwane. You're not a Tshwane official. You're not in any contractual relationship with Tshwane.
Yes.
Why would she ask you to make these inquiries?
Let me maybe answer it in this way. Like myself, I'm a police official. When people apply for a vacancy in the SAPs, they would maybe send questions or whatever reference. Hey, because of your insight, can you check what is the progress of this application? So according to me, that is the reason or why I sent to General Dlamini, because of it was with regards with Metropolis. So same applies to when MMC Morudu sent it to me, and then I then forwarded to General Dlamini like I was doing with other applications that are seen here in this document.
Yes, but you're not inside the Tshwane Police Department, or are you?
I'm not.
You're not. I mean, you do quite a lot in relation to the Tshwane Municipal Police Department, but you're not formally inside. Isn't that true?
I'm not formally inside. I wouldn't comment on that. You said first.
Yes, well, we've seen you sort of assist the CFO to communicate with the head of the police department a great deal. Do you accept that?
We are in the documents now.
All right. We don't need to go over yesterday's territory. But again, my question is, why would MMC Morodi think that you were an appropriate person to approach to follow up on a job application? Why would you be appropriate? She's an MMC of this city. Why does she need you to follow up?
No, I think it was the matter of, believing that I believe in youth development and knocking on doors where there is an opportunity for people to work, especially youth. So I think it was on those bases.
Does she believe in youth development?
Yes.
So why did she need you to knock on doors? Why did she need you to knock on doors? Why couldn't she knock on doors herself?
No. Maybe I put it in a wrong sense that I'm knocking on doors. I'm trying to take advantage where there is opportunities for youth development.
Can park knocking on doors for a moment, but my question remains, why does she need you to explore these opportunities for youth development in the city if she's the MMC and you have no relationship with the city?
I think it is on the basis that we usually do charity work. We get involved where they are doing the charity. So I think it was on those bases.
So you and the MMC do charity work together, and she saw this as an extension of your joint charity work?
Not always. Where they've got a charity, she will say, we've got this thing for a young woman. Can you help where you can or where you could?
And did you follow up with all of these applications?
Yes, I did.
And were they successful?
No,
They were not successful.
that's correct.
None of them.
According to my understanding, none of them.
And did you find out why?
That's correct.
And what was the answer that was given to you?
They were not compliant. They failed the aptitude test. Some they failed to run the training obstacles.
So not one of the applicants was compliant.
According to me, yes.
Who told you this?
Them, the applicants.
The applicants reported to you individually, I failed, this was the reason they gave me.
Yeah, the one that I know of, yeah.
And do you know if, do you know if anyone was successful?
No, not the one that I can know.
Now, can I take you to page 563? On the 21st of September,
Is it still the same theme?
it is still the same thing. On the 21st of September, you sent the general a document which, and that document we'll get to, it's at page 661, and you said, look, one of his friends was sent this. And then you said, my general, how legit is this? And if we go to 661,
661.
you see it says, dear applicant, you're invited to attend the Metro Police physical assessments and verification of documents, gives the date, the place, bring along the following documents, and it tells you what to bring. NB, wear sports clothes, bring your own food and water bottle. And at 563, you say, my general, how legit is this? Why were you concerned about the legitimacy of a document inviting applicants for jobs to come and present themselves for physical assessment and verification of documents?
Can you repeat that?
Why were you concerned about the legitimacy of a document that invited applicants for employment in a municipal police department to present themselves for a fitness assessment and verification of documents? Why were you concerned about it?
Okay, thank you. The reason that I was concerned, it was with, this message was forwarded to me that, look, one of his friends was sent this. Then I take same and forwarded to the general. I then make a follow-up that, my general, how legit is this? I was checking with the general that indeed there were calls made to other applicants.
Sorry, they were?
There were calls made, or there were any other arrangements made to the applicants, some applicants that applied for this post.
You see, if we look at your message to the general that attaches the notice for applicants to present themselves for a fitness assessment, you say one of his friends was sent this, and then there's that sort of shocked emoji, which you seemed able to find on this case. Why was it potentially shocking that one of the friends of the person who you knew had been sent this invitation?
I'm not the author of that look. One of his friends was sent this. The person who forwarded it to me is the one who wrote this. I took same and forwarded to the general.
So, who forwarded this to you?
Is one of the parents of the applicants.
And the parent was shocked that somebody else had been invited to do a fitness assessment, but their child had not. Is that what the parent was shocked about?
Can you repeat that? What I must...
So the parent who sent this to you sent it with a shocked emoji.
That's correct.
And was the parent shocked because their child hadn't been invited to the fitness assessment, but one of their friends had been invited?
That was my understanding, yes.
And the parent presumably was expecting you to ensure that their child would also get invited.
I wouldn't say he was expecting me to make sure that their child is invited. She was making a follow-up and followed by this message that she's shocked, according to the emoji.
But why would she be shocked that an applicant is invited to a fitness assessment? She'd only be shocked if she expected her child also to be invited.
I would not be in position to know, but I would assume that, as a parent, that maybe your child is fit or is capable to do something. At the end of the day, maybe your child is a friend to this one, and you see that this one cannot do anything. But be vice versa, that one got opportunity and yours does not. So I think that emoji came from there.
No, I accept that the emoji came from them. But I'm still trying to understand what they were expecting from you and what you were expecting from the general. So let's start with what they were expecting from you. What were they expecting from you?
Okay. As I've said earlier, to make follow-ups with regards to their application. They don't know the general. I know the general. I did not make any arrangement with them with regards to the general. I said, send it to me. I will see how I can help. That is when I involved the general. General, can you check what is happening here, the progress and so forth? So that is that view.
But what they send you is an invitation for a fitness assessment that's been sent to somebody else. So they're presumably asking you to find out why their child hasn't received a similar application for a fitness assessment. Isn't that what they were asking from you?
Yes?
Then why do you say to the general, my general, how legit is this? What was potentially illegitimate about a friend being invited to a fitness assessment?
Okay, if you can see this document, or let's say the so-called response, it says the trainees must come at 4 ways road report, and I know that Tshwane is not at the road report. Why would they then summon them to road report? So I was sending the general with that effect that, can you verify that this thing is legit?
Well, if they were being summoned to Rudaput, one could assume that it wouldn't come from Tshwane, it would come from Johannesburg. Is that not right?
That's correct.
And wouldn't your question then to the general not be, is this legit, but something along the lines of, does this come from Tshwane? Or why is Tshwane inviting people to Rudaput? If you wanted to follow it up at all, as opposed to just assuming this can't come from Tshwane. Tshwane will never assess people in Rudaput.
That will be, it will depend on how I express my interaction with the general.
You see, if you follow the chats, it takes the general a while. You send him you send it to him at 5:21, he calls you back at 5:23, and then at 5:24 he says, this is for the JMPD, it's not for TMPD. Can I tell you what it looks like to me? What it looks like.
Oh, before, you said what page is that?
Sorry?
You said what page is that?
It's the same page. Just go down to 5:24.
524.
Yes. Not page 524, the same page at chat number 5 at 5:24 p.m.
563, page 563.
Okay. I think maybe to Marab, let me just wait for you to comment first, then I will.
Well, maybe let me hear your comment on the general's response to you at 5:24.
Okay. The general was responding to me that these ones are not the Tshwane vacancies. I think it was me, maybe, who made a mistake after they forwarded this message to me. I immediately forwarded to general, without maybe telling general that this is not the Tshwane document or not. Is it legit or not? I was forwarding it to the general to check if it was legit. But I think maybe it was coming from the pages that I've sent him the Tshwane application, not the JMPD.
Yes, you'd sent him a Tshwane application. You didn't realize at the time that this was a response from JMPD and not from Tshwane.
I think so, yes.
You thought it was a response from Tshwane.
That's correct.
But then why your question, my general, how legit is this?
Because I thought it was a Tshwane document.
Yes, if it was a
So now, when he responds, he rectifies me here and say, no, Captain, this is for JMPD.
No, I understand. I see that the General pointed out that it came from JMPD, not TMPD, but why would you be concerned about the legitimacy of it? Why would your question be, is this legitimate, as opposed to, does this come from TMPD, not JMPD?
Because at that time, this was the first applicant who sent me this, and they came with these things according to the parent. So that is the reason I was asking them.
You see, what it looks like to me from the outside is that this parent had an expectation that you would ensure that, at the very least, their son's application got processed, if not successfully. And the parent writes to you saying his friend has been asked to present himself for a fitness assessment. He hasn't. Why is this? You were supposed to look after him. Is that not what was happening?
You know, Commissioner, I'm not saying you're not a parent, but when you are a parent and you see your child not doing well, if you feel at that particular time that there is an opportunity, whether that person is going to influence that process or not, according to the way you are putting it to me, that he was expecting me to make, you know, I don't know what there. But according to me, that parent, you know, was happy that at long last, my child will have an opportunity to work. So I'm taking that on those bases.
No, I do understand that. But isn't there an expectation that you will look after these applications for the children? That you will make sure that these applications get properly processed and that their children stand a good chance of being appointed?
That is your view. My view is that one that I've explained.
You see, what it looks like to me from these, from this exchange, is that you expected that the General would ensure that all of your applicants were invited for fitness assessments and documentation verification and got through the first round of the application process to that stage. And you were quite concerned that somebody who wasn't one of your applicants had been invited to a fitness assessment and your applicant hadn't. That's what it looks like to me. That's why you said, how legit is this? What's your comment on that?
That's not true.
Can I take you to page 654? I don't want to mention names, but can I ask, is this applicant a relative of the mama whose case you wanted, whose case you were sorting out with Mr. Mr. Mtakati and General Sabia wanted to be involved as well?
That is, you're talking about 654?
654, yes.
Can you repeat that question?
So we see I don't mention names, but the applicant at 654, is that a relative of the mama who we spoke about a couple of days ago? Remember, General Sabia said, I want you to sort out the mama issue with Mtakati.
That's correct.
And is this a relative of mama?
That's correct. It's a child.
I see. And was General Sabia aware of this application? Of the child's application?
I can't remember.
How long did it take for you to follow up the final outcome of all of these applications? The applications were supposed to be adjudicated within 12 weeks or determined within 12 weeks. When did you find out about the fate of these applications?
I can't remember.
But you say nobody was successful.
According to my understanding, nobody.
Suggestions?
You know why?
Sorry, Fish.
I think the commission must go first. Then I'll answer them as a package.
Sorry. On the 12-week issue, it seems to me that this is a different batch of applications.
Yes.
Because the previous ones, the acknowledgement date was April, and the 12 weeks.
No, I agree.
And these ones are now the July batch. So when you ask him how long did he follow up, are you asking him about the April batch or the July batch? I think that's all I wanted to clarify.
Well, let's take each batch in turn. There's an April batch and certainly a July batch and then a September batch.
Okay. To answer that, there were different posts. There were cleaners post, there were metropolis post, there were general workers post. So on each and every post, I would encourage people to apply and make use of, can you check, can you? So according to me, when I say none of them were successful, is based on the basis of I did not receive any call from them, no information that our calls or our application were successful. And even to those that have made a follow-up from, they were not successful.
In relation to the posts that weren't Metro Police posts, why were you sending those to General Dlamini?
I'm just taking advantage of the entity that he's working in the umbrella of Char.
So General Dlamini is going to, let's take a look at the one on page 624. There's an application for a position of senior administrative officer.
Page
624. That's a senior administrative officer post. It doesn't say anything about Metro Police.
Yes.
But you send it to General Dlamini.
As I said, that I did not send only Metropolis. I've sent for the cleaners and general workers. I think I took advantage of that. He works in that particular entity of Char.
Yes, this is a senior administrative officer. It's not a cleaner or a general worker. How would General Dlamini be able to help you in relation to this appointment?
I don't know if maybe I will answer to the best of my ability. Accordingly, let me just make an example about me. I'm working in the head office. Somebody applies in HR. Then he says to me, even though you are in organized crime, can't you check what is happening with this post in HR? So I think because of we are closer and closer, I'm able to check how far this post and so forth. It's because of I'm on the page that I'm working there. So this is what I'm explaining about General Dlamini.
And what report backs did you get from General Dlamini? Because this process makes sense on your version only if General Dlamini is going to do something and then give you a report. What report did he give you in relation to these applications? What reports?
Nothing much. Nothing much he said. He said no, you'll make a follow-up. So I did not make any follow-up with him.
But you then continued to send him, I mean, he doesn't give you much feedback in April, but you continue sending him job application forms in July and then in August and then in September.
Then not on every post that I sent to him, it does not respond. But the other ones he respond that this candidate were not successful, especially the Metropolis one.
I don't intend asking any further questions here.
Let me ask. Sergeant, if the purpose of you sharing this information with General Dlamini was simply to get information about the status of things, then explain why MMC Murodi would want that information through you. She has access to the whole of Tshwane, including the TMPD, and so she can get this information. Why would she want that information through you?
I think maybe Commissioner, at that time maybe she thought that I'll be of good help, even though she's within Tshwane. But this is what I thought, that maybe.
Yeah, I think what is obvious is she thought you would be of good help. I mean, that's the only explanation why she's sending this stuff to you. So I'm asking, I accept that part of your answer. She thought you would be of good help. In fact, she believed you would be of good help. The question is, if all it was that your role involved was just to get information, why would she do that through you when she's got direct access to all of Tshwane, including General Dlamini and the other parts of Tshwane that are not TMPD? Why would she want that information through you instead of getting it directly from the people that work in that municipality of which she's an MMC? If all it was to get information about the progress of these applications.
I think now it is according to me. You know, almost in maybe I assume it might be maybe office politics. She can ask some things or she can't engage with some people. So she thought maybe I might have great help at that time. That is one. Two, because I'm always advocating for youth development, maybe she said, this one is always talking about youth development, what are we doing for the youth and so forth. Let me give him this opportunity and see what this is going to do.
So when you say maybe office politics, you say maybe it might have been office politics. Are you saying maybe she didn't want it to be known in the office of Tshwane that she's making inquiries about specific candidates? Is that what you mean when you say maybe office politics stopped her from asking directly?
No, I'm not saying what is my honorable.
Well, explain what you mean by office politics. That maybe office politics stopped her from asking directly.
I don't know if I'll be answering to the best of my ability. When I said office politics, I'm not necessarily saying that maybe she does not want this one to know about. Most office politics is office politics. I'm just assuming maybe this one has got bad blood with this one or this one. I'm just saying that on the basis of my office politics. I'm assuming. I'm not saying it is like that.
So on that assumption, she would have bad blood with the whole of the people involved with recruitment in Tshwane. That it makes sense only if you say that, well, maybe she didn't get along with everyone that has access to this information.
I'm not even saying that there is a bad blood. It is me now thinking about that. It's not even like that. You would find, Commissioner, that she was not even there in the issue of office politics, the way I'm putting it to the commission. So that is just me applying my mind that it might be. But and then the other one is this one, that because I'm always advocating for youth development, that is why maybe she took advantage of that. No, because if you're always advocating, let us see what you can do.
Why did you not ask her the first time she asked you to get this information, or she sent you this to get information? Because that's your version, it was to get information. Why did you not ask her, why don't you get it yourself? From the recruitment people or anyone else in Tshwane? Why didn't you ask her that?
I did not ask her, Commissioner.
Yes, why? It seems like an obvious natural question, considering you are outside of Tshwane municipality. You have no official capacity there. You are, and so when you reach out to General Dlamini, you're not doing that in any official way. You have an MMC who has a right or access even to people in the municipality that she could ask. It seems to me a natural question to ask. Why don't you get this information yourself directly? If all it is to get information about the progress in the applications. Why does that natural reaction not happen with you?
I think it was on the basis of me knowing that what I want for the youth. So that's why I said because of this is what she knows, then there is no reason for me to ask her. Let me run with it.
So do you accept that when MMC Morodi sends this information to you for whatever purpose, it means that she knows you've got access to someone in the municipality who will give you the answers?
I take that.
That she knew that. She knew that you, an outsider, had a relationship in the municipality which allows you to get access to municipal information, because that's what it is, according to you. You were going to get municipal information. So you have an MMC who knows that and who actually asks you to use that relationship as an outsider to an internal person to get municipal information. You accept that's what your answer means?
I don't accept that, Commissioner.
Okay. What does it mean? Why would she ask you if she doesn't know that you've got access and a way of getting municipal information? Why would she ask you to get this information for her?
But I'm not putting this in a disrespectful manner. I differ when my honorable commissioner is saying I accept that the MMC knows that I'm an outsider and I've got information to the municipal information, and she knows that I've got information. No. It was not only on those bases. It was purely asking that here are the service, because I'm always pushing that narrative that youth must be developed, youth must work. So I think she sent me on those bases, not on the basis that I must influence or I must, no.
No, we are not yet at influence. We are at your answer where you say all of this information comes to you so that you can get information about their status, the status of these applications. Right? Am I representing your evidence correctly? That
correct.
Is your account. Your account, you say, this was sent to you so that you can find out about the status of these applications. Yes. So I say to you, for MMC Murodi to send you this information so that you can get updates of the status of these applications, it has to mean that she knows that you do have the ability to get that information from the municipality. It must mean that.
That's correct.
That's correct, right? Yeah. So she was asking you to use that relationship that you have, or that access that you have, to get municipal information so that you can report back or you can inform yourself, whichever it is, about the status of these applications.
I thank you, Commissioner. I don't want it to I don't know if I'm correct. I don't want it to sound or to be seen as in MMC Murudi was pushing me to do the wrong things at Tshwane, and she knew that I'm doing wrong things at Tshwane, and she supported my wrong things if they were wrong. My version of my statement is she sent me those things for me to see what I can do about them. She did not even know who am I going to talk to or what am I going to do with them, but she only knew that I might have been of great help.
Yes. You see, I'm not yet saying what she did was wrong. So don't be concerned about you admitting to she knew that what she was doing was wrong. It's not the engagement I'm having with you. What I'm engaging with you about is, it only makes sense that she sent this information to you so that you can find out about the status of these applications according to you. It only makes sense that she sent it if she knows that you do have the ability to find out. You have the means into the city to find answers to these questions that she's asking, or this information that she's asking about. And let me say that it has to be so. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense that she sent the stuff to you. She must have expected you would have answers. It has to be so. What do you say, Sergeant?
I think I've answered to the best of my ability, not in a bad way.
Okay. What does General Dlamini do in the TMPD? What's his position?
It's a deputy chief.
Yes. What does that entail? Is he involved with recruitment of cashiers, involvement of trainee officers, of cleaners? What does he do?
I only know that he's doing policing. He's into policing.
He's into policing. So he's not involved. You don't know him to be involved with recruitment.
Yes.
You don't know him to be involved with that.
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. All right. So when you send this to him, these questions, you expect that he will find out from other people who are involved with recruitment of cashiers. Let's keep it simple.
Yes.
The recruitments include cashiers and cleaners.
That's correct.
You know he's not involved with that, right? You nod your head. The record needs
Oh,
to
sorry,
reflect
sorry,
your
sorry.
answer.
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. So you know that, or you expect that information about cashiers and cleaners, at least, he will have to go to somebody else to get information about. You accept that? You must accept it, unless you say he's involved in the recruitment of cashiers and cleaners.
No, Commissioner, I can't accept that.
You expect him to be involved in the recruitment of cashiers. Is that your understanding of his position?
No, Commissioner.
Okay. All right. I want to suggest this to you, that this is what it looks like. It looks like when MMC Morodi sends you this list to you, she knows that you have access to people who are involved with recruitment, whether it's General Dlamini or whoever, and she expects that there are two scenarios. She expects that you will use that relationship to assist these candidates that she's given you to get a favorable response to positions. That's the one scenario. The other is, and this was suggested, so that's the first scenario.
Okay, I don't know if I would be inconveniencing you when I say, maybe can you repeat that first scenario so that when you get to second first scenario,
the first I'm putting to you.
interpreter stand by.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, interpreter, he says, please pay attention. He wants you to interpret after I've asked my question. So I said, after I've put this to him, to the witness, the first I'm putting to you, the first scenario possibility is MMC Morodi sends you this information because she knows that you've got access to either General Dlamini or someone that's involved with recruitment, and that you will use that access to influence the outcome of these applications. That's the one possible explanation for what's happening. The second possible explanation is MMC Morodi sends this to you because she doesn't want a footprint that as an MMC, she's getting involved with issues of recruitment and putting up names to the officials to be appointed. Those are the two possible explanations for why you are involved with her in relation to these recruitments. You've asked for interpretation.
Ukuthi lapha isigaba sokuqala noma scenario 1 uMMC Morodi uthumela le information kuwe ngoba ukuthi uzokwazi ukufinyelela uzoba neaccess kuGeneral Dlamini ngoba uinvolved nezinto zama recruitment okokuqala ukuthi uzokwazi ukwenza lokho. Okwesibili uMMC uthumela lokho ngoba ukuthumela lolwazi kuwe ngoba engafuni ukuthi kubonakale ukuthi uinvolve kube nomkhondo wokuthi yena uinvolve ngabi nalutho kuzokhombisa lokho.
You understand what I've suggested are the two possibilities, right? You've understood that?
Okay, I understood. Okay. I wanted to raise something, but no.
You've understood it from
me. To save time, today is Friday, so we must.
Yes.
But this is what my commissioner said, but I understood.
Yes, and I conclude, I've put to you these two possibilities, it's one or the other. And I concluded by saying that it is not true.
Sorry, maybe before you conclude, it will be fair for me to respond. If maybe the commissioner says she wants to conclude. I don't want the commission to conclude before I respond because of she might conclude to find me. I come up with different answer. Then what she concluded on is null and void. So I'm saying, Commissioner, now, MMC Murudu did not give me this thing because of there is someone she expected me to engage with so that they can influence those particular employment. 1. 2, she did not give me those things because she was cutting her footprints and did not want people to know that she's also involved. She gave me out of generosity of trying to help people in needy. So it was on those bases, nothing more, nothing less to that, but it was just an innocent thing to do.
Well, I'll still tell you what I was going to conclude as, but what you're now giving as her reason for sharing this information with you, it cannot be the reason that she gave you, because when you had the opportunity to say why she gave it to you, you said, well, I think it's because I'm involved in youth development, and she was sharing with me. So you don't know, according to you. You don't know, you didn't even ask her why she's giving this to you. So that attempt at saying she was giving you out of the goodness of her heart, it cannot help you, because you never asked her why she's giving this to you, and you said, well, I'm thinking maybe this is why she did it. That's my direct response to what you've said. But I was going to conclude this way on those two scenarios. I was going to say to you, it is one of the two scenarios, and I still say that to you. And I concluded by saying the answer that you have given, that the answer that you gave, that you were just seeking information when you forwarded these things. When Murodi sent this to you and you forwarded everything to General Dlamini, you did so to get information on the updates or updates on these applications is false. It's not correct. It's not the true answer. It is one of the two possibilities that I've given you that explains this exchange of these names of applicants. You heard my conclusion. You want me to repeat it, Sergeant?
Can you maybe repeat it? I'm sorry about that, but I wanna.
That's okay. So remember, I gave you two scenarios. I'm not going to repeat them.
Yes,
you understood.
that one I'm clear.
You heard what I've said. And what I'm saying to you is the conclusion, my conclusion, right, is that the answer that you have given to Mr. Chaskalson, that you received this information from MMC Murodi to find out what's happening with these applications, that you forwarded all of these batches of information, the different batches, to General Dlamini because you wanted information on progress in the applications. That's a false answer. That's false. The true explanation for it is one of the two scenarios that I've given you, which is you were going to influence appointments to these positions. That's why you have all of this and sharing them with General Dlamini. The alternative is, as relates to MMC Murodi, she was actually hiding her footprint of influencing these applications, and she did that through you instead of directly speaking to officials in the city. Do you have any comment? If not, I'll go back to Mr. Chaskalson.
I have a comment, Commissioner. I respectfully and sincerely differ with what you are saying now. She just gave me because of wanting to help, not merely because I wanted to influence or she knew that I can influence. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Sergeant, I want to raise something different with you. I think we've all agreed that you are not an employee of the city of Tshwane, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you're not an employment agency either, are you? You're not an employment agency, correct?
Yes, I'm not.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, when an applicant applies to the city of Tshwane for employment, that's an issue between that applicant and the city of Tshwane, correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yes. And any correspondence between the city of Tshwane and that applicant will be between those two parties, correct?
That's correct.
So when either MMC Morodi or General Dlamini or the CFO gave you access to documents that should be circulating between the city of Tshwane and the job applicants, they were really giving you access to internal Tshwane documents when they, for example, this acknowledgement letters that somebody's application has been received, it is being processed, and they will get feedback within 12 weeks. That's communication between Tshwane and the applicant, correct?
That's correct.
And it's an internal Tshwane document because you pull it from the system. You don't have access to it, correct?
If it was in public domain, I would have.
No,
access
it can be in the public domain. These are not things that are put in newspapers. This is communication between a job applicant and a
Yes.
potential employer.
That's correct.
When somebody who works for the potential employer goes to the system and pulls this letter and gives it to you, they are really giving you access into the potential employer's documents, aren't they? These are City of Tshwane's documents that they are giving you. They are not yours. You're not involved in the process. And it's not communication addressed to you.
I think maybe through you, Chair, maybe before I answer that, I want to answer it on a very relaxed mode. Now I'm pressed. Can I? Not that I'm my honorables. I'm not shying away from your question. It's valid, and just now, can I
Yes,
just
Chair.
excuse?